or your predecessors in your seats, are the people who responded to a questionnaire in 2005 saying what you thought would be the best way for you to be represented in Washington. And I did my job, and I went back and I talked to Carolyn Maloney's office, and they said, okay, fine, if you think a caucus is a good idea, we'll do it if you can find us a Republican co-chair. And I can tell you another time, a wonderful story of how someone else found a Republican co-chair. But the point is that caucus exists. It's a small caucus. What's a caucus? Not very much. I have to be very honest and say it's not very much. It has no legislative power, of course. But we have, for the moment, we have 27 friendly representatives who, by joining the Americans Abroad Caucus, have said, I understand the problems of overseas Americans. I am sympathetic to the problems of overseas Americans. I'll do what I can, if you twist my arm, to help with the problems of overseas Americans. Now, the complete list of those 27 is on the FAWCO website in the forum. It is also, you can find it on the U.S. Liaison site. It's easy to find. I can send it to you. If your congressman is not a member of the caucus, you can write to him, you can give him a call, you can see him the next time you're in Washington. I've been at mine for several years, and the last time I was in Washington, I said to his new legislative director, I just can't understand why Chris Murphy hasn't joined. And he said, what? Chris Murphy hasn't joined yet? Well, the next day, Chris Murphy had joined. One person asked. While I was in Washington, I went to visit the most recent new member, was Lee Terry of Nebraska. Again, one member, one constituent, had gone into his office and said, this is really important, I think you should join this, and he joined. So it'll happen, it can happen. So they have not done a huge amount for us. One of the things that they have done, and we need to continue asking them to work on this, is to get their colleagues to change their congressional websites so that people can write to them from abroad. It requires simply adding one sentence onto the website, onto the web form. How many people have written to me and said, I can never contact my congressman because they only respond to people in their district. Okay, so what do? When you write to your congressman, the first thing that you do is say, this is a message from an overseas constituent. That's what they want. They don't care where you live. You're a constituent. You vote for them. So this is a message from an overseas constituent. In the first line, you say, I'm an overseas voter in such and such a district. And then you go on to your message saying, you don't like the price of rice in China. And they will listen to it if you are a voter in their district, no matter if you've got a DE or an FR or a code UK at the end of your email address. So they are working on that. They passed a resolution commemorating the first time that the word America was ever used. That was the anniversary of that was in 2000 and, oh golly, when was it? 11, no, 10, 9? It was first used on a map 500 years ago, and so they commemorated that. And the biggest thing, I think, that Maloney and some other people have done is to call for these hearings on our banking problems. They've written letters to Treasury Secretary Geithner, and he didn't answer back. That's why I say yes, Elvis been sympathetic, didn't answer back. They've been adding and adding and adding and adding. And now he said, on YouTube, in front of everybody, we're going to have that hearing. So, that's yes. If you go to the FAWCO website under member services, publications, you've got the FAWCO forum, and the most recent list is on the FAWCO, on the I think it's the third page or fourth page of the FAWCO forum. Okay. There you go. Okay? She's got a copy of it. If you're going to write to, I put this down here because if you're going to write to your congressman or ask your congressman to join, you put this at the bottom. You say, please contact Elizabeth Darnall and Representative Maloney's office, and that's her phone number. Okay? Do it. Find us some more.
What's the area code?
Oh, well, you know, if you're talking to your congressperson, they know. I mean, that's a local DC number, so it's 225. Yeah. I mean, it's 2:02, sorry. Okay? Okay, we're moving on to Darlene, who is the big expert on... No, I'm in between two experts here. I simply wanted, as U.S. liaison, to remind you that your rights